there, this is Welsh ASMR 82. Hey, how you doing? This is the Football ASMR channel, meant to help you relax and fall asleep, and try and be a little interesting for those who are just trying to chill out. So, today we're going to look at the FIFA Women's World Cup, which is starting this week. Quite excitingly, I always do watch the World Cup and the European Championships in the women's football, and I'm starting to get a little bit more knowledgeable about the women's game, but I'll be honest with you, I'm not an expert. I'm not an expert at the men's game, to be honest. It's just a hobby. So I am happy for you to fill the comment section and educate me when I say stuff that is, in your opinion, totally wrong. You go ahead and do that. I'm just doing a video, and I've got a little bit of knowledge. I think I've got enough to do a video, but I'm definitely not some sort of expert. So that's my disclaimer. I hope you enjoy the video. If you do, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if this is your first time happening across one of my videos. Okay, here we go. Okay, this is Group A, and as I stated, I know about the European game mostly, and the better teams in Asia and North America and South America. I really don't know much about the African teams, I'll be honest. So take what I say with a bit of a pinch of salt. I did have a little bit of a research before to see the top couple of teams in the world ranking. So yeah, I'm going to give my opinion, but like I said, feel free to disagree with me by all means. Okay, so Group A, co-hosts New Zealand, Norway, Philippines and Switzerland. I saw a bit of the Swiss in the European Championships. I've never seen the Philippines or New Zealand play. Norway, however, are former champions, historically one of the best teams in the world. I think they are outside the top 10 in rankings at the moment, but I still would expect them to top this particular group. And from the host's point of view, I'd love to see New Zealand come second, but I think Switzerland might pip them to that. So that's what I'm expecting here. Norway, I think Norway will go out in either the first knockout or the quarterfinals. Everyone else, I think, is just there to sort of for the experience. Okay, that's Group A. Group B. So co-hosts Australia, Canada, Nigeria, Ireland. So I've heard a little bit about the Irish. I've never bet against the Irish in an international competition. I know nothing about Nigeria. I know that Canada are a really good team, and they paved the way for the men's team to start qualifying for things because they reached so far that the money that they got for going and doing well in deep into competitions funded the men's game. So it's actually, from my understanding, it was more the sort of the women in Canada that's really started to fund the sort of the change in Canadian funding and sort of ability to prepare and getting the right coaches, etc. Australia are a sporting country, so obsessed with every sport, and the host. So I think Canada will come first, Australia will come second. I think Ireland will push to try and catch up with them, but probably finish third. I'm putting Nigeria as fourth because, like I say, I know nothing about them. If this were the men's sport, I would say that Nigeria would probably qualify, but I don't know enough. So I'm going to stay like that. Good luck to Ireland. I'll be watching your games. Celtic brothers all together. Costa Rica, Japan, Spain and Zambia in Group C. Again, I don't know anything about African football at the moment in the women's game. I don't know anything about Costa Rica. Japan are a previous winner of this competition, and Spain, I think, I just saw that they are third in the rankings, but there's been an argument in the Spanish squad, and I can't remember if it was about equality of pay or something like that, and I think I read an article, or at least the headline of an article, saying that many of their best players aren't coming to the World Cup, so I'm not sure what sort of team Spain are putting out. Let's be honest, the quality of football in Spain, even their B team would probably get out of this group, but if they were their A team, they would be looking for the final. So I think that Japan will finish top, and Spain will finish second, maybe close to Costa Rica. But if the women's team is anything as chaotic as the men's team, then I think they'll either finish bottom of the group or get to the semi-finals. That's just the way that Spain play football. Okay, Group D, China, Denmark, England, Haiti. It's an interesting group. I think England will probably get 3 wins out of 3. However, I think that China and Denmark will push them all the way. And there'll be fairly close matches, but personally I'm picking England for the final, possibly as the winner. So, spoiler, I think it's going to be a USA-England final. The last World Cup had that as the semi-final, and it was an amazing game, the best of the tournament, and I would love to see that as the final. And that's coming from a Welshman. I think Denmark will possibly get second, but I wouldn't rule out China. Historically, they've had a really strong women's team. Haiti, don't count them out. I don't know much about them, but I think this is like maybe their first World Cup, and you know, they won't be there just to make up the numbers, so good luck to them. Okay, when I saw this earlier on, preparing for this video, I didn't realise this has to be the group of death. Netherlands, Portugal, USA and Vietnam. Okay, I don't know much about Vietnam, but Portugal have to have a decent team, you know, Portuguese, they're obsessed with football. The men's team, in my opinion, is one of the best teams in the world at the second. And then the Dutch and the States were the previous 2 in the final last time, 4 years ago. The Dutch were European champions just before the last competition when England took it. They were a little under the weather in that competition. I watched them a few times and they weren't quite the same. I had a quick look and they're not in the top 5 seeds at the moment, but they're still a really good team. So I think USA will come top. The Dutch probably will come second, but Portugal will push them all the way. Group F. Now, at the minute, France are above Brazil in the rankings, if my memory serves me right. France did really well in the European Championships. They've got such a good team, some really, really fast, tricky wingers, and a good striker. So I reckon they could actually finish above Brazil in the group stage, which is unthinkable in the men's game, certainly. But yeah, I think it's going to be a shout-out between France and Brazil for the top 2. But let's not count out Jamaica and Panama. This is a bit of a weird draw, because I'm not sure of the rules of the women's game, but these come from the same section. They're both CONCACAF, so in the men's game they wouldn't be allowed in the same group, so that's weird. If anybody knows the answer to that question, just give me a comment. And for me, this is the second group of death. Sweden are one of the best teams in the world. They are top 5 in the rankings. I think they're 3rd actually. And Argentina and Italy are football crazy, and I think one of those 2 is going to go out in the group stage, which is incredible. South Africa won't be there just to make up the numbers either. This is the other group of death, maybe even harder than the USA group, in fact. So I'd say Sweden to finish top, and then, oh, wow, it's Turkey. I've never seen Argentina play. I've seen Italy play and they're good. So I'm going to say Italy second, and that means Argentina 3rd, which is, you know, unbelievable to think that Argentina would ever go out in a group stage, but there you go. And lastly, Group H. Colombia, Germany, South Korea, Morocco. Now this one includes a lot of teams I know nothing about. In the men's game, I know a lot about South Korea, and obviously Morocco did extremely well at the Men's World Cup. Colombia are usually a very tricky technical team. If those skills come over into the women's game as well, what I'm expecting is Germany to top. They are former world champions, twice, I believe, and they should finish. They will be hoping for a semi-final, at the very least, a quarter-final, semi-final spot. So they'll want to finish top in this group. But with the other three teams, I think they're all kind of equal. And I wouldn't be shocked if maybe we saw South Korea get the second spot, but I would not be shocked if Colombia or Morocco got it instead. Okay, so let's have a little prediction. I've already given the game away and said I expect it to be an England-USA final. I think some of the titles of articles I've seen recently have suggested that this is a possibility. If they both finish top, they avoid each other. I think they go on different sides of the draw, so it sets it up quite well. Other teams, I think, a full Spanish team would definitely reach a semi-final, but I'm not sure of the situation. Japan will definitely get to around the quarter-final stage. I think the Dutch will be disappointed with anything less than a quarter-final. I think France probably will be semi-final and try to upset England or the USA. Brazil, probably quarter semi-finals. And then Sweden themselves, they're third seeds, they want to really get to a semi-final. So lots of teams in here who are extremely good and want to reach a latter stage. Do not count out Australia. It's their home tournament. They are, soccer crazy. Canada are a really good team. And then you've got the outsiders, Norway, former world champions. Who's going to do it? Personally, I think is England's to lose. Or the USA, I think it's 50-50 between those two. I would not be shocked if we saw a France team lifting the World Cup, or a Swedish team, but that remains to be seen. Okay, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Engage with the video, educate me, correct me, and drop a like as well as a comment. And I'll do a couple of videos, not as many as with the Men's World Cup, but I'll do a couple of videos as we get through the group stages and knockouts for the Women's World Cup, so stay tuned. Okay, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't, and take care. Thanks so much. Bye-bye-bye-bye.